and they are going to have a number in front, and we're going, it's called a coefficient, remember, leading coefficient, okay? And we're going to be using this method called the Berry method. Guys, the Berry method is based on the diamonds. It's based on the x's. I have written out a step-by-step way that you go through this because this is one that is so important. I wanted you to have every detail. So we are going to go through this process together. Number one, if there is a GCF for the whole thing, this one right here, if there is a GCF for the whole thing, you've got to take it out of all these. Look, the smallest number is 2. Can 2 go into 3? No, so there is no GCF. This first step is done. We can't do anything else. Okay? Number 2 says multiply the first and the last term. Guys, we're going to take this 3 and we're going to multiply it by this -5. That number is going to go on the top of our x. Every single time, what we're going to do is multiply the first number multiplied by the last number. First times the last. Okay? What does that give you to put on top of our x? -15 goes on top of our x. Okay? Then it says to put the middle one, the middle term, the middle number, this one right here, on the bottom. 2. Don't put the x, guys. Don't put the x. Just work with the numbers. Make your life easy. All right. The next thing you're going to do is set up 2 sets of parentheses. Guys, you're going to go ahead and set up 2 sets of parentheses multiplied by each other. So it's going to be a binomial times a binomial. Inside those parentheses, you're going to take this first term, which is 3x squared, and you're going to repeat it, but instead of repeating 3x squared, you're going to put 3x times 3x. Guys, the reason is, what's x times x? X squared. So it's going to take care of itself with the x squared. The 3's, the GCF will take care of the 3. Okay, so we have multiplied the first one off. We put the middle there. We've set up 2 sets of parentheses. We repeated the first one without its square on it. Step number 4 is to write the numbers on the sides of your x on the back end of the parentheses. So we got to find these numbers. These are the numbers. Guys, you should know these. We just did it all day yesterday. What 2 numbers multiply to give you -15 but add to give you +2? Okay, listen, doesn't matter which way you did it. I heard it -3 and 5, 5 and -3. Does it matter what order it goes in? None. None. You're going to take these numbers. Step number 4 is to take these numbers and write them here. -3 and +5. Okay, so we did step 4. Step 5 is to factor out and can't. This is the biggest thing. People got to make sure you see this. When you factor out the GCFs for the individual ones in this type of factoring, you are going to cancel out the GCFs that are found in each binomial. Not a GCF for the whole thing. That stays there. The GCF for the binomials cancel out. That's because we repeated them. That's why it cancels out. Here we go. Does anything go into 3x and into 3? What? 3. Perfect. That 3 goes there. It's going to cancel out. Doesn't go out in front because we've already got it multiplied. So the 3's cancel here and here. What does that give us as the first term? X minus, guys, what is 3 divided by 3? 1. Nice, nice. And then the other one. What goes into 3x and 5? 1. Does that, guys, is it going to help to divide by 1? No. So all we do is just put 3x plus 5. And you're done. You have factored it. You have finished. That's it. This is not a crazy concept, but it is an important concept. And it goes through this pattern every single time. 5 steps. Make sure you check them off as you go. Questions, concerns, anything before we move on? Okay, guys, here we go for the next one. We've got 6, 17, and 5. Is there anything that goes into those 3 numbers, guys? Well, 5's the smallest one. Will 5 go into 17? No, so that doesn't work. So then you're going to multiply the first number times the last number. What goes on top of your diamond? 30. Bottom number is going to be the middle one, so it's going to be 17. What 2 numbers multiply to give you 30, but add to give you 17? 15 and 2. 2 and 15 works also. you're going to set up 2 sets of parentheses. What goes at the front of each one of those parentheses? 6y. No square, just 6y. At the back of the parentheses, you're going to put your numbers from right here. Since they are both positive, it's plus 15 and plus 2. They would be minus if they were negative. Right. Since we are at the point of doing the GCFs of the binomials, then you are going to cancel out any GCFs that you find. Find? What was that word? Find? Okay, so what goes into 6 and into 15? 3. That is going to reduce down to 2y plus 5. Okay. On the other one, what goes into 6 and into 2? 2. That cancels out. That's going to leave us 3y plus 1. And I'm done because I have a binomial times a binomial and I'm finished. I can't factor anything else out. It is separate, guys. Look, don't write this down. I'm just going to show you why we do this. Guys, if we take these two binomials, and that is 2y plus 5, and it is 3y plus 1, if I multiply this together by foiling, first, that'd be 6y squared. Outer, that'd be plus 2y. Inner, that'd be plus 15y. And the last, that'd be plus 5. And then I combine the like terms in the middle. That would give me 6y squared, bless you, plus 17y plus 5. Where would I end up? Right back at the what? Beginning. I ended up right back at the beginning. So this test is literally taking everything we did on the last test and working backwards. Okay? Instead of foiling it, we're breaking it apart and getting it to where it's 2 binomials multiplied times each other. That's our goal. Questions? Okay. Keep going. Here we go. Is there a number that goes into 4, 12, and 16? What is it? Okay, guys, it's going to work differently. 4 is going to go underneath all of them. 4 is going to go out in front, and it needs to stay out in front the whole time. Then we're going to rewrite this by dividing by 4. That's going to be x squared plus 12 divided by 4 is going to put us at 3x minus, and then 16 divided by 4, I'll get my words to work, is going to be 4. From there, guys, you're going to have to keep that 4 out in front. You're going to set it up as 2 sets of parentheses. You're going to put, guys, what do you put in the front? Ooh, what do you put in the front for this one? X. Thank you, just X. And then at the back, you got to find your numbers from your diamond. So here's our process on the diamond. Ooh, what number goes on the top of our diamond? Not just 4, negative 4. Okay, because 1 times negative 4 is going to be negative 4, and then the middle number is going to be 3 that goes on the bottom. I need 2 numbers that multiply to negative 4, but add up to positive 3. What works, guys? I'll wait on y'all. 4 and negative 1. Let's see. Yes. Yep. Bigger numbers positive. That works. So, guys, when I write this over here, what do I write for the first one? Plus 4. And what about the second one? Minus 1. Am I done, or do I have more to do? Is it a binomial times a binomial? Yes, it's got a GCF out in front, the 4 is out in front, but it is 2 parentheses multiplied by each other, which is what we're trying to get to. Good, let's keep going. Okay, on example 4. On example 4, we've got a GCF that'll go into all these. What will go into all of these numbers? Guys, come on, keep up with us. It's going to be 2. 2 goes out in front. When you divide, 24 divided by 2, that's going to put you at 12 n squared plus n minus 6. All right? You're going to set up your 2 sets of parentheses. Guys, what goes at the front of each one of your parentheses? 2 goes in the very front. But what about the front of each of your binomials? 12 what? 12n. 12n. Then we got to find out our diamond numbers so we can put numbers at the back. So find out our diamond numbers. The first one times the last one was 12 times -6. -72. And then guys, what goes in the bottom? 1. It's not there, but it's 1. Okay, now listen. The numbers are only going to be 1 apart. You're looking for 2 numbers that are really close to each. You're not going to start with 1 and 72. They're only 1 apart. What numbers are 1 apart that add up to 72? 9 and 8. Which one has to be negative? The 8. Because we want the bigger number to be positive so that the answer on the bottom is positive. Okay, so when you write it over here, it's going to be +9 and -8. It can be -8 and +9. You'll get the same answer. The parentheses will just be in a different order, but you will get the same answer. Okay, am I done? What do I still have to do? Ooh, look at your steps, guys. What haven't we done yet? Got to factor out and cancel those GCFs. Guys, there are still GCFs in here that need to be canceled out. So we keep the 2 out in front. We have our 2 sets of parentheses. What will go into 12 and 9 that we can cancel out? 3. Perfect. What will go into 12 and 8 that we can cancel out? 2 will, but 4 is bigger, so we'd have to do it again if we didn't do 4. We'd have to do 2 twice. We don't want to have to do that. So we try to pick the greatest one. So 12 divided by 3 is going to put us at 4n, plus 9 divided by 3 is going to put us at 3. 12n divided by 4 is going to put us at 3n minus, and then that 8 divided by 4 is going to put us at 2. The GCF for the binomials cancel out. The GCF for the whole thing stays in the front. Questions, concerns, anything before I keep going? No? Okay. Here we go. Okay, guys, this is a binomial that should be very easy. We'll talk about this as we go forward. This is a binomial that doesn't have a number in front. So when I multiply to get my numbers in my diamond, first of all, before we do anything, when we set up our parentheses, what goes in front when it's x squared? We already did this once, but what goes in front? X. And then all you're doing is finding the numbers that go in the diamond. So the numbers that go in the diamond are going to be what on top? -7. Guys, this is 1. 1 times -7 is going to be -7. That middle number is going to go on the bottom. That middle number is -3. I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me -7, but add to give me 3. Guys, what are the factors of 7? 1 and 7. Can 1 and 7 ever add up to 3 in any way, shape, or form? Guys, it's not possible. When something is not possible for it to be factored, we write down that it is considered to be prime, meaning it's broken down as much as it possibly can be broken down. Listen to me, I'm going to put a star here. Please write this down. Only put prime, only write prime, only put prime if you do nothing to the problem. And I mean nothing, not pull out a GCF, not anything. The only time that you are going to put prime as your answer is when you can do absolutely nothing to the problem. We were not able to do anything to this problem. That's why it's prime. If you can take out a GCF, it's not prime. If you can do anything to it, it is not prime. That's the only when you can't do anything to the problem. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go. So on this one, there's 3 left? I think I did, yeah, because that last one's got something specific. Okay, here we go. We got 3 more of these guys. Will anything go into 3, 8, and 3? Yes or no? No. So we set up our diamond numbers and we set up our parentheses. For our parentheses, what goes at the front of each parentheses? 3n. Okay. Diamond numbers, what goes on top? -9. And on bottom? -8. Guys, remember what we talked about. If they're 1 apart, what numbers work here? -9 and 1. -9 and 1. Good. So we write it as -9 plus 1. Is this my answer? Why can't I stop here? What can happen still? I can divide by what? 3 in that first one. Only in the first one. This is the only one that can divide by it. That simplifies it down to, sorry, just looking at what that was. It was just Z. So that cancels out. We get n. This cancels. Guys, 9 divided by 3 is 3. And this one doesn't have anything that divides into it, so we just leave it alone. Okay, bless you. So for this next one, the numbers are a little bit bigger. Try to set up your diamond. Try to set up your parentheses. Do that now. Set up your diamond. Set up your parentheses. Nothing goes into 22 and 5, so no GCF at the front. Okay, what's going to go at the front of both my parentheses? 5a. What goes on the top of my diamond? 40. What goes on the bottom of my diamond? -22. Ooh, guys, when it's positive on top and negative on the bottom, both the numbers have to be what? Negative. Both of them, because a negative times a negative is a positive, but it will add up to a negative. What 2 numbers work? It's more obvious than you think. 2 and 22. 2 and 20 gives you 22. Sorry. There you go. -2, -20. Are there any numbers that we can cancel out? Which parentheses? Second. What goes into them? Y'all are seeing it now. Good. So it's going to be 5a minus 2. That does not change. You don't do anything to it. All you do is write it out in front. For the second one, you're going to cancel out the 5s. That's going to leave you an a. And then 20 divided by 5 is going to leave you a 4. Guys, what would I get if I multiplied these back together? The problem. It just puts me right back at the problem if I multiply back. So my goal is here to break it apart. On the last test, it was put it all together. Okay, one more of these guys. Here we go. Oh, wait. Is there one more? Okay, Hunter, yeah. Not at all. Not at all. You can have either parentheses. This is the same answer as a minus 4 times 5a minus 2. And why would it end up backwards? Because you put your numbers on your diamond in the opposite order. Doesn't matter at all. You get the same answer when you multiply it back together. Okay, guys, here we go. Last one. Guys, GCF, what is it? 3 will go into all these. Guys, if you don't take out the GCF at the beginning, none of this works. Let me say that again. If you do not take the GCF out at the beginning, if it has one, this does not work. This process doesn't work without doing that. So we take that 3 out. That's going to leave us 10j squared minus 9j minus 7 when you divide those numbers all by 3. Now that we have that, we're going to set up our 2 sets of parentheses. What is going to go at the front of each one of those parentheses? 10j. No squared. To find the numbers that go at the back, you're going to do your diamonds. So guys, diamond. At this point, you're going to have to be able to figure out these numbers. What goes on the top of the diamond? -70. What goes on the bottom? -9. Ooh, now this may take a little more work. Okay, guys, start with, it'd be 1 and 70, 2 and 35. That's still too far apart. 3 won't, 4 won't, 5 won't, 6. Oh, wait, 5 might. What's 5 go into it? How many times? 14. Those are 9 apart. There it is. 5 and 19 are going to be 9 apart. So 5 and 14. Which one has to be negative? The 14. How do I know that one's got to be negative? Because the bottom number is negative, which means I need the bigger number to be negative. I take that 5, I put it here as plus 5. I take that 14, I put it here as minus 14. Okay. Are there any GCFs I can cancel out of the first one? What is it? 5. If I divide by 5, 10 divided by 5 would give us 2J. 5 divided by 5 would give us 1. What is the GCF that'll go into the 10 and the 14? Is it just 2? Yeah, it is. Good. What do I put when I simplify these? Perfect. And there you go. You factored. Guys, like I told you, there's nothing crazy hard about this. It's you got to follow the process. Okay, let's get you started on